What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Chris Moore, and in today's video we got a 2015 FJ-09. Yeah, that's right guys, this is a Yamaha sport touring bike that they only made a couple years under this name. Now, they make a bike pretty much just like this now, MT-09 Tracer GT. Pretty much the same thing, but there for a little while they called it the FJ-09 in the United States. And we are gonna be doing one of these things today. The customer is complaining of some on-off throttle. He's like, man, when I ride it and I go into a turn, it's terrible because I can't maintain speed / ride it and feel safe. So anyways, this thing has got a Yoshimura full exhaust system on it. We're gonna be flashing the ECU, taking the restrictions out, getting the bike to make more power, but not to mention that, we're gonna make it ride way smoother and do all the I guess you'd say the sport touring things that you're gonna do with this bike, make it do all that stuff better. Stay with us guys, here we go. FJ-09 all warmed up. We're about to make a pull on it for the first time to see what kind of power this thing makes. Then we're gonna flash the ECU, remove all the restrictions, smooth this thing out, and see what kind of power gains we get from doing that. So you just saw the first dyno pull. The thing was acting kind of wonky, and I'm like, what in the world? This is the first one of these I've done on the dyno in FJ-09. Done tons of FZ-09s, tons of MT-09s, but the FJ-09, we never done one. So I'm like, what? Dyno in 5th gear, that's normal procedure. That's just where I dyno every bike at. Put it in 4th, went a little farther, but still did the same thing. Put it in 6th. Come to find out, it's the speed cut, guys. This thing has a top speed limiter. Watch this. So I'm gonna put the bike in 6th gear. Take a look. Take a look. Take a look at the restrictions this thing has in 6th gear. So you can see we did the baseline pulls. You can see this thing is basically speed limited, 110, 112, 113-ish miles per hour. No matter what gear, it actually hit the speed limiter in 4th gear, hit it in 5th gear, and of course hits it crazy early in 6th gear. We're gonna run this thing now that we have flashed the ECU and removed the restrictions. We're gonna see what this thing will get us now. Now, to get to the ECU is under the gas tank, okay? So if you want to look up a video on how to change the air filter, or how to clean your air filter, something like that, if you get to the air filter, you're gonna see the ECU. You don't even actually have to go that far. The ECU is on top of the air box. But all I can think about is these restrictions. We gotta get rid of these. Let's see what this thing does now. working off camera, getting all the restrictions out of this thing and getting the air-fuel ratio dialed in perfectly, this thing gained more top speed than almost any bike we've ever done. You're not gonna believe the top speed on this thing. Watch what happens when I dyno it in 6th gear this time. Finished up with the tune. Take a look at the results. 108 horsepower, 57 foot-pounds of torque. We started off with 85 horsepower and 52 foot-pounds of torque. But the biggest thing is look at how this thing just falls on its face so early in 5th gear. 8,500 RPMs is all we were able to achieve before. Now we're going all the way to 11,900 RPMs. I never got a chance to tell you in the beginning of the video, but let me show you a little bit now about what's inside the ECUs and what is going on, why these things, I guess you would say, got you so restricted. So you can see we've opened up the file from a brand new, or a stock FJ-09 ECU. We click on other maps here, and we see electronic throttle valve. Then we have a different gear selector. Now you can see if we put it in 1st gear, we're getting pretty much 100% throttle everywhere, which is pretty good. Some new bikes don't even give you that. The throttle is very limited in 1st gear. So if we put the bike in 5th gear, which is where we dynoed it, lo and behold, you can see here at 10,300 RPMs, we're cut back to 70% throttle. So even though you're wide open, the bike, 70% throttle. So this table up here, I should have told you this to start with. This is your throttle percentage table. That's how much gas you're giving it. This over here is RPM. These numbers in here is how much the ECU is giving it. From the factory, this is in standard mode. Now if we put it in A mode, you can see pretty much the same restrictions. You just got more bigger numbers in the middle here. So as you're, just easing into it, the ECU gives it more power in A mode than it does in standard mode. Well, we make A mode and standard mode the exact same. But you can see at 11.3, the bike is back to 47% in the ECU, so it really chops it off. 6th gear, pretty much the same, but worse. So you can see 6th gear, 8,900, we're back to 70% throttle. That's killing our power. Not to mention that, we're gonna go in here to the advanced settings, drop our fan temps down. That's one thing that the customer was complaining about. The fan, he said, didn't come on till 215, 218-ish, somewhere around in there. We got it coming on to around 195 degrees. Then we go in and disable the top speed limiter. We can default to A mode, so that way every time you start the bike up, it's automatically in A. You don't have to change it. Disable the pair valve so we don't get any decel popping. We also disable the decel fuel cut. So you know when you're riding the bike, you're on the throttle and you go to let off just a little bit, boom, the thing falls on its face. If you're in a corner, it's definitely super scary. This, we can disable that feature. That keeps the fuel injectors running just a little bit while you are off the throttle. Then we close off the pair valve. That's the, basically it recirculates the air in there. That's the word we're gonna use. Recirculates the air in there. Anyways, long story short, when we disable that, that disable or stops all the popping. We don't want any popping out of this thing. We want it to sound nice and clean, and that's what we've done. All right, guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you're new to the channel, be sure you subscribe. More Mafia, that's it, guys. If you have any questions about sending your ECU in to get it flashed, hit up moremafia.com. click on the ECU flashing page. There's another video that's gonna pop up there. Be sure you watch that video. That's gonna explain the whole process, how much it costs, how to send it in, where do you send it, every question you could possibly think to ask, I got it all in that video. And there's a list of what bikes we can do. We do much, much more than MT-09 and FJ-09s. Hit us up, moremafia.com. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to smash that like button. And as always, we appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.